This is the story of everything. But it doesn't begin with stars. There was a time when the universe was nothing like the universe we know today. It was unimaginably hot, incredibly dense, and expanding. And the expansion of the universe was not an explosion into empty space. Space itself was expanding. As the universe expanded, it cooled, particles formed, and eventually they combined into atoms. Light could finally travel freely through space. But there was almost nothing to illuminate. No stars, no galaxies, no planets. Only an enormous, dark universe filled mostly with hydrogen and helium. Then gravity began its quiet work. Across the young universe, enormous clouds of gas slowly gathered together. Their own gravity pulled them inward. The clouds became denser. Their centers became hotter. And after millions of years, something extraordinary happened. The first stars were born. For the first time, light spread through the darkness. These first stars were enormous, much larger and more powerful than our sun. They burned intensely, consuming their fuel at incredible speed. And inside their cores, something even more important was happening. Simple elements were being transformed into heavier ones. The ingredients that would eventually become rocks, planets, oceans, and living things were beginning to exist. But these giant stars could not live forever. Their enormous size made their lives incredibly short. Eventually, their fuel ran low. Gravity took over. The stars collapsed. And some ended their lives in spectacular supernova explosions. Their outer layers were thrown into space, carrying newly created elements with them. Carbon, oxygen, silicon, iron. The universe was changing. It was no longer made only of the simplest elements. Now, the material needed to build complex worlds was spreading through space. Gravity continued its patient work. Gas and dust gathered together. Stars formed in enormous groups. Galaxies emerged. And across unimaginable distances, galaxies became connected through a vast cosmic structure. Somewhere within that enormous universe, one ordinary spiral galaxy began to take shape. The Milky Way. It would eventually contain hundreds of billions of stars. And somewhere inside one of its spiral arms, another cloud of gas and dust began to collapse. At its center, a new star was forming. Our sun. Around the young sun, countless particles of rock and dust collided. Some shattered. Others joined together. Over millions of years, gravity slowly assembled larger and larger worlds. One of those worlds would become Earth. But Earth was not born as the blue planet we know today. It was hot, violent, covered with volcanoes and molten rock. Asteroids and other objects continued to strike its surface. Yet eventually, the planet began to cool. Water collected, oceans formed, and somewhere in those ancient waters, something happened that would change the story forever. Life began. At first, it was microscopic, simple, fragile, but it could reproduce. It could change. It could survive. And for billions of years, life continued its extraordinary experiment. Oceans changed. Continents moved. Species appeared. Species disappeared. Life adapted again and again, until eventually, one species developed something unusual. It could look at the world around it and ask questions. Where did we come from? Why are we here? And what is beyond the sky? Humans began looking upward. The stars that had existed for billions of years suddenly had observers. And tonight, one of those observers stands beneath the same universe that existed long before humanity. She looks at the Milky Way. Every point of light above her is part of a story that began billions of years before she was born. The atoms in her body have an ancient history. Some were created in the early universe. Others were forged inside stars. The material that became her world once traveled through cosmic clouds, stellar explosions, and countless generations of stars. Everything had been connected long before anyone was here to notice. A star died. Its elements entered space. Those elements became part of a cloud. That cloud helped create a star. Around that star, a planet formed. On that planet, life appeared. And eventually, life became capable of looking back at the stars. So when you look into the night sky, you are not looking at something separate from yourself. You are looking at your own cosmic history. The universe created stars. The stars created the elements. The elements created worlds. One of those worlds created life. And life learned to look back. You are not looking at the universe. You are the universe, looking back.